to get the engine, that guy right there chilling on the engine stand, back into the STI. There's some very key components that we need before we put the engine in. They're not here yet. We have a new turbo for the car, which is exciting. Well, not new. And it's not even new to me. I've had this turbo laying around. I'll just grab it real quick and stop playing, stop messing around. I've had this turbo laying around for probably 2 years. Nice little stock location Blausch. Let me set this guy down. Honestly, I forget the exact name or model of this turbo, to be honest. What is this thing? This guy is a Blausch 2.5 XTR, I believe it's called, with a 10 cm hot side. This thing should hopefully make in the upper 4s on E85. If this thing was making 400, even 400 wheel on E, that'd be so fun. It'd be such a grand old time. Now, of course, I don't really want to install it looking like this. She's a little bit crusty. I do want to go through it, make sure it's all good to go. Like I said, it's been sitting on the shelf for a while. It is thankfully all plugged off everywhere, so it should be good, but still, the hot side is disgusting. The center cartridge is pretty nasty as well. So today we're gonna go ahead and get the turbo cleaned up. We're gonna get some stuff coated on the turbo. I don't think I'm gonna coat the cold side at all. I'll probably just leave that silver, like a nice silver. I don't know, life throws surprises, I guess you could say, and things may change. But not only that, I also wanna go ahead and refinish our exhaust manifold. This is an OEM manifold. We are gonna be running OEM manifold, but I don't know if I've ever seen a more crusty exhaust manifold in my life. So with that being said, we need to start pulling some stuff apart. I'm probably gonna work on the manifold first. We're not gonna run any sort of heat shields on it. They're all super rusty, rusted out. That'd be rattly and annoying. And I have thought about the idea of without heat shields, is it potentially like a safety concern? You could argue that it is, but also at the same time, you could argue that every single entire aftermarket exhaust manifold in the world, like Bobby's ETS, for example, those don't have any heat shields. So I'm gonna go ahead and argue that it's gonna be Let's get this thing pulled apart. They're 3-piece manifolds, so we have this center piece here that goes on the driver's head, passenger head, and I'm gonna get the up pipe coated as well. That O2 sensor is pretty much seized in there, and it's about to strip with just a regular wrench. I don't have an O2 sensor socket here for some odd reason, so I need to run and grab one, and hopefully we can get it out, because I know the front O2s are a little bit expensive. This O2 sensor socket didn't do anything for us. It was so loose on the O2 sensor, just like floppy back and forth. I had to cut the sensor wires off, and then I just used a regular impact socket, and she pulled it right out. I'm probably gonna return this dumb thing. 30 bucks, or like 25 or $30 for that thing. And she didn't even work. Okay, we have the whole manifold disassembled. I made a little mistake. Man, that was a pain trying to get the heat shield, this guy off here. We ended up having to cut it off. I didn't realize there was a flex joint underneath the heat shield. I got a little bit carried away on the cutoff wheel, and we sliced through her. So I don't know if that's weldable because it's on a flex joint, but I also don't have a replacement here. I'm gonna try to weld it. Let's try to weld it real quick. If it welds, I'll run it. If it doesn't weld, I'll buy a new one. Whether or not it's gonna last or not is up in the air, especially being on a flex joint. If it wasn't on a flex joint, of course it wouldn't be a big deal, but I got it fully welded up. Who knows if it's gonna last. I'm gonna run through right now and get all of these pieces. These pieces here, the exhaust manifold and up pipe, I'm gonna get them all sandblasted. Everything's gonna be coated with a Cerakote, which is a high temp coating. I think it withstands up to either 15 or 1800, maybe even more. I'll put it on the screen. I know it's way up there in temperature resistance. And not only does it look really nice, the coating will also protect against corrosion so it doesn't end up looking like that again, and better thermal barrier properties than any other high temp coating. So let's get all this stuff prepped out and then we can move on to the Blausch Turbo.